I was out admiring the bikes.
One, two, 1, 2. There we go. Big hand for the mic guy. We got to work in. I was outside admiring all the motorcycles. This is wonderful. Once again, I'm Daryl Gregory from Dave FM. Thank you very much. I want to tell everybody thank you. You did a wonderful job today. We're going to let you know exactly how much in a few minutes that you raised, but give yourselves a big hand today. Wonderful. I don't think any wipeouts. Everybody made it. First off, we introduced him earlier. He's known simply as Rock Ride Bob, and he's the organizer. Here's Bob, everybody.
Thank you. I'm glad to say I'm still standing. Not quite straight, but better than I was this morning. Stone's still here. Luckily, it's a stone, not a rock. I'd like to thank everyone for coming and making the second annual R.O.C.K a huge success. Many of you know the basic history of how and why the R.O.C was founded, but I'd like to take a few minutes and expand on that. On May 18th, 2000, my lovely wife Lori gave birth to our two identical twin daughters, Samantha and Victoria. Vicky's birth was fine, but there was a twin transfusion of blood during the birth, and Sammy arrived in this world limp and seemingly lifeless. At that point, I thought she was gone before she had even lived. She was rushed from the room, and long moments later, we heard her cry her first breath, and everything was fine. Until that fateful day in September 2002, when doctors found a grapefruit-sized tumor in Sammy's chest. The next 9 months were spent mainly in hospital in London and Toronto, where Sammy underwent intense chemo and a bone marrow transplant. Even when she was stuck in an isolation room with up to a dozen different drugs being pumped into her tiny body, she never lost her spirit. Her strength and her innocence kept us strong, and her memory keeps us going. On May 18th, 2003, Sammy was granted her angel wings. Her tiny body could take no more. As I held her lifeless body, I realized that we had not been robbed of a lifetime with Samantha. We had been given an extra 3 years. 3 years of having the two most beautiful little girls in the world. I also realized that this 3-year life extension had been granted with a purpose. To motivate us to raise funds for research to save other children. Our kids should be in playgrounds and parks, not hooked up to an IV pole in a pediatric cancer ward. So here we are, and we will be back every year until research money is no longer needed, until cancer is something read about in history books. Today, I am very proud to announce that we are $25,052.25 closer to that day. To accept once again, my lovely wife, Lori. To accept this check, I would like to introduce Mr. Gary Quiggin of the Childhood Cancer Foundation.
Wonderful accomplishment. You guys have done an amazing job today. I'm going to try and keep my stuff short. I'm down to 2 pages this year. Give me a moment. Well, I bet there's very little cooler than cruising for a good cause. But with every click of the odometer, you are positively impacting the lives of thousands of Canadian families today at a time when they desperately need our help. Cancer kills more Canadian kids than any other disease, more than the next 5 diseases combined. There are 10,000 children living with cancer in Canada today, and 1,500 new cases will be diagnosed every year. We will lose approximately 1 in 4. Since we've developed very few child-specific treatments, more than 60% of those children who survive will go on to experience significant after effects, such as organ failure, cataracts, speech impediments, suppressed immune systems, and an increased risk of unrelated cancers due to radiation therapy. It's a pretty grim reality. But by supporting the Childhood Cancer Foundation today, you took steps to change those statistics. Founded in 1987, the Childhood Cancer Foundation has helped tens of thousands of Canadian kids with cancer and their families. We receive no funding from any level of government, and we are not affiliated with any other cancer organization. Instead, we rely on the compassion and generosity of private and corporate donors, such as Bob and Lori and their team, to fund our programs and help our kids. We have formed an alliance with the Canadian Council of Pediatric Hematology and Oncology Directors, representing all 17 Canadian children's hospitals with cancer treatment and research facilities. Through this partnership, the Foundation has become the principal funder of childhood cancer research in Canada. Working with the Council, the Foundation is helping to build a truly pan-Canadian childhood cancer research program known as the C17, embracing all Canadian centres and promising Canadian researchers from coast to coast. The Foundation is also helping parent support survivor groups through a national infrastructure fund that helps to give local groups the resources and tools they need to provide support and information to families affected by childhood cancer right in their own community. The Foundation has created resource kits that comfort and reassure families facing childhood cancer, and our benevolent fund provides financial support to bereaved families. Suffice it to say that your donation is going to go on to work very, very hard, and we are very, very grateful to you. On behalf of everyone at the Foundation, on behalf of our 10,000 kids and their families, on behalf of hundreds of researchers, doctors, donors, and caregivers, we would like to say thank you to all of you, to all of the organizers of the R.O.C.K Ride, and to all of the participants and donors for once again supporting the Childhood Cancer Foundation. Thank you very much.
Make sure I'm giving away the right stuff. Bob and Laurie, thank you very much. Certainly difficult times, and what you've turned it into is certainly rewarding for many families right around Ontario, and thank you very much for getting involved in, on a grassroots level. And what did you make last year, 17? $13,000. So we're $12,000 up from last year, and maybe next year we'll hit 40. So good luck with that. And once again, thank you everybody for participating. We're gonna get to giving away a whole bunch of stuff here. Just a reminder right now, the silent auction is over right now for the hockey stick. But first off, the bandanas. For everyone that raised over $500 this year, we have bandanas. I'd like the following people, if they're here right now, to come on up to the front. Jen Vincent, Glenn McDonald, Chris Etherington, sorry. Andy Condon, Ken Corbett, Margaret Donnan, Anthony Gentile, Sue Weber, Colleen Kenny, Bob Podger, Ron and Janet Chambers, Eric Smith. There's a big list, I think it's everybody, isn't it? Jack Friend, Mark and Carly Newman, Mike Bouchard, Paul Tice, Gord Pillock, and Dan White. Each one of these people raised a minimum of $500. Dan White, the top dog, at $2,556. Just a reminder, Bob also mentioned that we've got some of the this year's R.O.C.K Ride shirts up at the front if you'd like to purchase. Of course, those donations going towards cancer research, $10 a piece if you'd like to grab an extra one for somebody that wasn't here today. And as like year, or similar to last year, we have a special thing just for clubs that ended up raising the most money this year. And I think Bob has the grand total, but I know they did it last year and they did it again this year. Southern Cruisers of Kitchener. Congratulations. There it is, I just saw it on the ground. Southern Cruisers, $3,668.30 from their members. Thank you very much, Chapter 270.
This one will be displayed on the R.O.C.K website, and they will be getting their second plaque engraved. If somebody from Chapter 270 can come and accept the Keeper Trophy on their behalf. Perfect.
And of course, we've got the baby quilt that was on display earlier today. If you had hopefully you purchased a ticket for that earlier. If Nina's in the room, we'll get Nina to draw that name for us right now.
She's not here.
She's not here?